You look at the action paintings, 20 minutes, it's done. The paint dries, it's over. The artist doesn't decide when the painting's done. The painting and the medium decide when it's over. The dots, it's completely compulsive. 3,000-4,000 dots on a painting, that's insane. Neither one is a presence of mind. It's the whole thing that I strive for in both processes, is to relinquish my mind and hopefully gain an insight.
The aspect of endurance, I think, or longevity, or what things go through, becomes a question. You're bicycling 4,000 miles across the US. Why did you start biking?
I felt a pull to go test myself. What separates one athlete from another at the end of the course, at the finish line? It's the mind. It's the strength of the mind. It's the will of the mind. It's the ability to be able to conceptualize, visualize, and see yourself done. It's the ability to shut out the pain. It goes back to the indigenous aspect of who I am. I've always been looking for a connection. The Aboriginals used the dots 50,000 years in lieu of a written form of communication. But by bringing them into modern day objects, it takes the earthly origin of the dot and brings it into modern day life. It's all about our shielding our identity and how we present ourselves to the other tribe. Approaching this subject matter onto the surface of a woman. The woman is the vessel. The woman is the giver of life. The woman is the medium, I think, that speaks to the dot, or that the dot speaks to. There's a lot of imbalance in the world because women do not have the power that they should. For me, a woman is coming to a peaceful solution. AK-47 is responsible for more deaths out of any other handheld weapon. By taking something so violent and so devastating and putting the dots on it, you draw attention to it, and then perhaps it has the possibility to create a dialogue. It's a way to fertilize for peace.
It would be very easy to say, look at your work, and certainly dots right now, Yuso Kusama. How do you think your work differs?
Her work is an element of OCD to the point that she's hospitalized. My work is intentional without intention. It's not contrived. It is a meditation. I've fallen flat on my face hard many times, and those have been the greatest learning experiences in my life, and I've drawn strength from those. I've worked in fishing boats in Mexico, I've worked in mines, I've worn all of these different hats. I chose purposefully not to go the academic route because I wanted to stay in the studio. The action paintings are very emotional. I'm raw when they're done, and I think the reason that is by throwing yourself into something passionately, violently, the eruption of a volcano, whatever metaphor you want to pick, is you have completely exposed yourself. It's more important to not break that stream. It's more important to finish the race. My mom, she spent a lot of time at bars, spent a lot of time with just me and my little sister. It was an empty house with a lot of glass being thrown within the glass walls. The word pray with an A, pray with an E. There was a profound instance in my life where I was one and utilized the other. Every good Catholic kid goes through catechism, CCD, for the first confirmation. The area that we were in, there was a lot of Hispanic gangs, and I was this kid in this catechism class with a curious mind that wasn't afraid to ask questions. And so I used to get kicked out, and they would send me into the parking lot, and I would sit there, and pretty much every Wednesday night I would get beaten.
I'm seeing you starting to merge the dots with your action paintings. How come?
I think ultimately what it's about, it's fresh. This is I mean, the paint is wet. I'm still stepping around in this. But my perception is that, especially with the element of the human form, which kind of creates that trinity, that three, and brings it all back around. I think that there's some really grand questions that every person on the planet has, and we all know what those are because we all have our specific language for asking those questions. The action painting and the dots, for me, are both asking the same question from very different perspectives. And I think if I leave it at that, it's enough.